I wish people were more mature enough, strong enough emotionally in the mind and knowledge right here, because again, if you are okay with your child or you yourself listening to rap music that drops the N-word left and right, but you are offended when a white person says it, you are a weak, pathetic, hypocritical individual. If you don't like it, look in the mirror and deal with yourself, seriously, because if you want to hold this type of standard, hold it completely across the board. Don't hold it towards one race of people or one group of people or even one person for that matter. Hold everybody accountable the same exact way. But y'all hypocrites can't. Seriously. And that's why a lot of people are like, you know what? I don't care. I really don't care. I just, a lot of people have the black fatigue. A lot of people are lactose intolerant. To be honest, I'm kind of there as well too now. I'm really about lactose intolerant. Because seriously, a lot of pro-black. Because like I said, I ain't going to say it's all of us. I'm not going to say it's every black person. But you pro-blacks, y'all get on my nerve for real. So what's going on, grace and peace, and welcome back to an episode of Layman Terminology. Appreciate y'all taking the time today to watch this video. So we know what's taking place. That Shiloh Hendrix has been found guilty, and I believe it's 2 counts and one of them they dropped. But the reason why this here is a big deal, because I know a lot of y'all numbnuts really just don't want to just take the time to really just think for a moment. Just really think for a minute. And so let's go ahead and just put this out there now. To all you pro-blacks, white liberal women who want to come up here, want to comment, thumbs down, thumbs up, I really don't care. I don't care. Grow up, seriously. Stop being childish and stupid, for real. Think with your brain for once. Okay. All right, so I guess I put that out there. But the reason why this here is an issue in and of itself, because it is an attack on the First Amendment. What I really feel took place here is that they basically are testing the waters. They are seeing of how far can they go and push stuff. Well, something like this right here, because you're looking like this here just really makes no sense at all. Because the charges to me are just like, you gotta be kidding me. All right. Now, again, because I know some of y'all are going to say I'm sitting here capping for the white man, this and that and that. No. You're just too dumb to understand that if they can do this to her, they're going to be coming for you for something for real. And I was saying that, this is also what I really want to say too. To all you out there who want to talk about of how wrong this was of her, and she shouldn't have had said this and that, and it's a racial slur, shame on her, especially you white liberal women who seem to want to hold other white people accountable, but you fail to even hold black people accountable. So that's why, to me, your opinion and your judgment just doesn't matter at all, because you're hypocritical, because you are afraid of black people. You are so afraid of black people that you dare to even speak of what is truth. Let that sink in, seriously. So, peace on. But anyway, so to you pro-blacks out there who are have been boo-hoo whining and crying about this since last year, but you are so okay with having rappers and people who are not even rappers to basically just drop the N-word left and right like it ain't nobody business. And I know some of you use the dumbest argument that, I'm telling you, it's like you can't make it up. It's like, I don't know, y'all might want to go to the Learning Center. Not the Learning Center, but the Learning Center. It's right there inside Minnesota. Because y'all make the excuse to say, oh, well, yeah, we just buying back the word. We just redeeming the word, That's the dumbest thing in the world, for real. That's the dumbest reasoning or the excuse to use the word, seriously. If it's wrong for one person to use it or one race of people to use it, then it should be wrong for any race at all to use it, but for the simple fact that we know that that's not the case, and it's clear on display of what we are seeing with this situation right here. So again, you can miss me all the nonsense if you want to talk about me capping for the white man and me trying to justify making it okay for white people. Nah, seriously. Because you have even rappers now, like, matter of fact, someone like a Fat Joe. Yo, that cat drops the word more. That cat drops it left and right. But y'all cool with that. Y'all give it pass here, but It just depends of who it is that y'all want to make acceptable and saying that they are okay with using it. Looking hypocritical. But anyway, so let's go ahead and jump to the video real quick though. Because this here, I mean, it's just so much in this that, like, seriously, you really have to look at it and call it for what it is. This here is just straight up, yeah, this is like white persecution, seriously. And there's no other way to put it. Seriously, there is no other way to put it. And if you're mad about this,
right to free speech is being infringed upon.
it is.
That client, this woman here, Shiloh Hendrix, she's charged with disorderly conduct after she allegedly called a black child living with autism a racial slur at a Rochester park. The exchange went viral on social media and prompted demands within the Rochester community for accountability. KATTC's Olivia Prodzinski was in the courtroom this morning where one of the 3 disorderly conduct charges were dropped and Hendrix appeared for the first.
Did you call the child the word?
It's this April 2025 exchange between 37-year-old Shiloh Hendrix and others at a Rochester park that resulted in her charged with disorderly conduct.
All right, that's what you say.
Her defense attorney, Brian Corrales, believes the case will be tossed out before trial, arguing racial slurs are protected speech.
Does it cause anger, alarmment, resentment? Of course it does, but that's not enough.
Corrales says the state needs to prove Hendrix incited violence or used fighting words.
If she used different language that was equally as offensive but not a racial slur, they wouldn't be prosecuting her.
Did you call
The viral video prompted calls for accountability from community leaders
Accountability.
like NAACP President Wale Alagbade.
We are outraged, and deeply disturbed as a community.
Hold on, yeah,
What-
wait. I gotta stop there. I'm sorry. I gotta interrupt the video. She said calling for accountability. Again, it depends on who you are. You will be held accountable. And these cats here, these pro-blacks, the NAACP, hey, listen, they are like the biggest joke for real. They like, listen, accountability, and they are outraged. Seriously, that's a joke to me. Seriously, that is 100% a joke. Because I'm looking like, yo, you outraged because someone said a certain word that you feel is offensive, but still yet though, but you run right around inside your vehicle with your windows down or windows up if you're the AC type of person, and you just blast it all day. It's all up in your music, your movies. You online chatting with cats and cats. Man, listen, this is what
occurred was something that should never have happened.
Man.
Is your client racist?
No, I don't believe so.
Does your client understand the historical context behind that word and why it can be harmful to some communities?
I have no idea. I'm a lawyer. I don't get into what my clients think. I don't get inside their head.
This is what I would say. So she asking him, is his client racist? If Shiloh Hendrix is racist, then just about every black rapper is racist. Every black entertainer who uses the N-word is racist. Anyone who uses it, listen, we all racist. Seriously, at the end of the day, if this is what it comes down to, that to say that if it's a certain group of people who uses a word, therefore it makes them racist. But again, as I said earlier, if it's another group of people who uses the same word, and I know people want to try to make a distinction between the GA and the ER. Okay, bet. Let's play that game. You're using the GA versus the ER. Matter of fact, you're using the word nigga versus nigger. Let's go put it out there, right? Call it what it is, right? Get your feelings hurt. Oh well. But you're using the word, but you're telling me that one is offensive and the other one is not. So what you're telling me then is that if a white person uses the GA and not the ER, then they're cool. That's what you're saying, right? No, that's not what you're saying, because you're saying that even if they do use that word as well too, therefore they are racist. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have it both ways. At the end of the day, if you're saying that is wrong, then let it be wrong. Then let it be wrong all across the board. Don't let it be wrong on one part of the board, on the part of a shade of a skin color that you don't like. It has to be wrong over here on this part over here that you idolize and that you worship. But you don't see that there at all. And for the record, to be honest with you, I'm not offended at all. Is it the smartest thing to be calling people names? Nah, it's not. Seriously. End of story. You know, just like I don't run around. I mean, just think about this right here. I wonder if they would do the same thing if a black person there in that same city, in that same park, in the same situation, same circumstances, were to call a white person a cracker. Would we see the same outrage? But now, as far as this, like, well, you know, this word is offensive to these people because of the history. It doesn't give, listen, you can't sit here and have a two-tier justice system and saying because you feel it's offensive because of something in the past, so therefore we are also going to deem it as something. We gonna make you a protective species. Nah, black people are not protected species. They are guilty, accountable people as well too, who participate in the same exact sin. Racism is hatred. I know a lot of y'all don't want to believe that. I know a lot of y'all want to really just believe that it only come from white people. That only white people can be racist. That white people are the only ones who can't use the N-word, but still yet they can rap it inside songs, and their biggest supporters of their albums happen to be, believe it or not, white people. White people buy more hip hop songs and R&Bs or whatever you want to call it than black people. Just saying.
I defend them. I defend our Constitution.
Corrales says Hendrix's actions were a reaction to the black child stealing something out of her bag and then someone filming her.
If anything, she's the one that was provoked. Not once, but twice.
But you do also recognize she's in a public place and you can film anybody when you're in public.
So she's in a public place and you can film anyone in the public. Now that's a response to what he just said. But also, it's the First Amendment speech as well too. You can say what you want to say, even if it may not be the smartest things to say. According to our Constitution, that's our First Amendment right. And this here is what is on attack. This here is what was on trial. Seriously, these are liberal judges, justice, well, whatever, lawyers, attorney generals who say, you know what, let's see if we can get a conviction out of this. And I do pray that it is overturned, that Shiloh does appeal this unjust ruling and to be overturned and to be locked and to be mocked. And the people who took part in this, that they will be laughed at and that they will be mocked as well too.
Yes, but I think most people find it creepy. They find it to be an invasion of privacy.
Rochester City Attorney Michael Spindler-Craig declined to comment on the case,
I wonder why.
but told the judge the defense's arguments are irrelevant. Reporting in
The defense's arguments are irrelevant because it's the First Amendment. Again, this is a blue state dealing with these type of people right here, nutcases, who basically will have you to believe that, hey, you know what? We don't believe in the First Amendment unless we say that we believe in the First Amendment. We will uphold whatever we feel is proper for the First Amendment. So let's go right here, right? Because this here is what I also want you to see as well too. So this here, I mean now, because I want you to also just think about what took place this year. This has been a fast year. Hopefully it was this year. Was it? No, it wasn't 2025. But what took place this year right here, right?
Okay. How do you feel about ripping people from their families? Does that feel good? Fucking house nigga in here. Sir, I need to move. Fucking house nigga working for the fucking KKK. What the fuck's wrong with you people?
Why are you calling a woman a man?
Sir,
I mean, what kind of a guy does that?
fucking house nigga, bitch.
For that live update tonight from the courtroom. She will continue, of course, to follow this trial for us. Now, we want to dig deeper into the charges being considered by the jury in this case. According to the criminal complaint, this is the charging document used in the court system to establish what we call probable cause. Shiloh Hendrix faces 2 counts of disorderly conduct. These are misdemeanor charges. Probable cause. The probable cause here, according to the Olmsted County Attorney's Office, is based on this summary as provided in the complaint. It reads that Hendrix, in a Rochester City park where children were present, quote, wrongfully and unlawfully engaged in offensive, obscene, abusive, boisterous, or noisy conduct, or in offensive, obscene, or abusive language that would reasonably tend to arouse alarm, anger, or resentment in others. Keeping that in mind, let's give you an up-close look here. This is what Minnesota statutes say about disorderly conduct. There are 3 legal definitions provided. They're broken down on the screen for you. The first involves a person's engagement or brawling in or a fight. The second involves a person's disturbance of an assembly or a meeting. And it's the third one here that is applicable in Hendrix's trial. We just read this.
Now I want you to really look at this last one, number 3.
Definition verbatim from the criminal complaint. As for the 2 counts, the complaint alleges the first count is disorderly conduct against the then 8-year-old boy with autism in the park that day, along with the 2 counts.
Bag it up. So number 3, engages in offensive, obscene, abusive, boisterous, or noisy conduct, or in offensive, obscene, or abusive language, tending reasonably to arouse alarm, anger, or resentment in others. I want you to really think about that. What we've seen inside Minnesota, this is their statutes. 609.72. This is their statutes. Now, this is what they are basing their charges on her with right here, right? So this is what they are doing, right? But think about the protests that took place inside Minnesota. Think about the offensive, obscene, abusive, boisterous, or noisy conduct, or in offensive, obscene, or abusive language tending reasonably to arouse alarm, anger, or resentment in others. Think about the protests that these people were offensive, abusive, boisterous, doing everything, saying everything in the world that is wrong. Think about that. Minnesota did nothing. These people were breaking Minnesota statutes, and they did nothing at all. They turned the other cheek. I don't like to say that right there, because that's not even turn the other cheek dealing with them, because these people are just evil. But they basically closed their eyes of justice to injustice that was taking place. But the moment that now that we have something involving race, now they want to take the blinders off and saying, yeah, we have to go about justice now. This is an attack on the First Amendment speech. So therefore, guess what, numbnuts? It's also an attack on you as well, too, because if you think that they're going to stop here just because they deem someone that they want to say is racist, no, they are also some way, somehow, at some point in time is going to be coming for you. And this is why I pray this is overturned real quick, because my freedom of speech is also an alarm this here as well too. And again, if you want to try to connect and trying to say that I'm again trying to cope for the white man and sitting here trying to take up for white supremacists, I don't care. Have fun at it. Seriously, that's your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. If you say that, free speech. You are entitled to free speech. Guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I'm about to take you to court and, and you're going to be hit with a misdemeanor because you express something that you feel. Seriously. I wish people were more mature enough, strong enough emotionally in the mind and knowledge right here, because again, if you are okay with your child or you yourself listening to rap music that drops the N-word left and right, but you are offended when a white person says it, you are a weak, pathetic, hypocritical individual. If you don't like it, look in the mirror and deal with yourself, seriously. Because again, because if you're going to hold this type of standard, hold it completely across the board. Don't hold it towards one race of people or one group of people or even one person for that matter. Hold everybody accountable the same exact way. But y'all hypocrites can't. Seriously. And that's why a lot of people are like, you know what? I don't care. I really don't care. I just, a lot of people have the black fatigue. A lot of people are lactose intolerant. Be honest, I'm kind of there as well too now. I'm really about lactose intolerant. Because seriously, a lot of pro-black. Because like I said, I ain't going to say it's all of us. I'm not going to say it's every black person. But you pro-blacks, y'all get on my nerve for real. I pray for y'all. White liberal women, y'all too. And then y'all liberal men who sit here and run behind these white liberal women and pro-black people. Y'all like Ahab and they like Jezebel for real. Y'all just weak men. I'm just gonna call y'all for what y'all are. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and stop there before I mess around and because I ain't gonna go down that trail. But y'all just hold on real quick. I'll be right back. So I just want to say thank you for taking the time today to watch this video, even up to this point, because this here is the most important part out of everything I just said. This is my main message I want to drive home to you. Whether we want to believe it or not, one day we all going to die. Some of us, it might be today, tomorrow, next week, next month, 10 years, 20 years, we don't know. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself this question right here. If you were to die right now, where would you go for all eternity? And I know a lot of you might want to think that you are a good person and people told you that you are a good person and you may have great church attendance and all that, but it doesn't matter because we have to look at what God's standard is. We have to look at what his words say. And again, the Bible tells us that there is none good, no, not one. And, so we cannot look at man's standards to justify our salvation or to say that we're going to heaven because someone told us we are. Look at God's standard. Ask yourself this right here and be honest with yourself. If you were to die right now and God was to judge you according to his standard, his word, have you ever told a lie before, regardless if it was a small lie or white lie? Have you stolen anything before, regardless of the value? Jesus said this right here, that if you look with lust, that you have committed adultery. This is how serious God is. His standards are so holy and so high that he looks at the intents of our heart. Hatred. God sees hatred as murder. If you answer yes to any of those right there, you will stand condemned before God if you were to die right now without receiving Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And this is where the gospel comes in. This is where that beautiful good news comes in right here. That God sent his son to do something for us that we couldn't do. Because you have to keep the whole law in order to go to heaven. Jesus did that on our behalf so that way we may be justified through him. He purchased us with his blood, with his life. The life that he lived was on our behalf, and we are forgiven. We are forgiven by God because of Jesus Christ. If we will repent and place our faith and trust in Jesus Christ, we will be forgiven and we will receive eternal life. Now, I will encourage you to get into a local, sound, biblical church that will preach and teach about his life, burial, and resurrection, that will teach you how to live the Christian life. Give yourself fully unto God. Surrender completely. Don't play church because God is not playing. This is not a game. Don't sit here and think because you say a prayer that you're good to go. No. God is looking at the heart of man. There are those who walk in light and those who walk in darkness. You cannot deceive God. God is not playing this game. So don't sit here and think that you can manipulate God and saying that, oh, Lord, forgive me, I'm a good person, this and that. Again, don't insult God because that's all that is just an insult. To dare to think that you can justify your life before God with your words or the words of others. The words of other sinful men, it's not going to happen. For the Bible makes it clear, God said that my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways. The Bible also tells us to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, by the word of God. Get into his word for yourself and know it, but above all, you live it. So I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch this. Love you all. Peace.